Hi, everyone. Lisa Hunt and Rich Keegan from High Five here with you. We want to talk about some ways that we've been playing with our favorite Ubuntu cards in ways that are safe and relevant to the ways that we're programming right now with COVID being an issue that we're addressing. Rich, you ran us through a workshop, a pilot last week, and I found the sequence that you did really successful. It didn't require virtual adaptations, nor did it require, using chemicals or laminate on the Ubuntu cards. Can you run us through some of the activities that you did and the considerations? I found it great.
Well, some basics with the Ubuntu cards is, even before we get into sequencing quickly, is that oftentimes many of the activities you need to exchange cards, which you really don't need to do. You can hold on to your own card, or what we did the other day was, because we had a smaller group of 8, what we did was we handed out 4 or 5 cards from the deck. Now, how did we hand them out? We actually put them on the ground and just kind of spread them out. So really the only person before that touching them was me, and I actually kind of just spread them out really quickly. And we did use that general guideline of sanitize your hands before you touch anything, and as soon as you do pick up something, and I had touched it, sanitize your hands again. But we laid those out so you could individually come in and pick them up. And I think that was pretty basic. So we don't exchange cards, and then we just give participants 3, 4, depending on the size of the group, 5 cards. And when you do just different activities, you're just exchanging. You're not exchanging it at all. You're just exchanging your own card. So let's say Lisa and I did commonalities where we're holding up the card and we have to find the same thing. And then once we notice that, and what is it, Lisa? Let's see, what do we have?
Sharpie. It's a Sharpie.
The Sharpie. So, then we wouldn't change cards. I would just bury them in my own deck, so I'm the only one that touched them. Also, one of the basics has to do with Lisa and I are here virtually, but when we would exchange and we wanted to keep 6 feet away, we would do the full arm's length away. And oftentimes the card was held lower. So the other I don't know why I'm leaning back like that, but you could go lower and exchange it that way. So you're not getting into each other's personal space. So again, you're not exchanging the cards. You're getting 4 or 5 of your own. You are going to be at least an arm's length away with the card, and so you can both see the card. And then finally, when you put them back together, we had one at a time. We had the people put their cards back in the box. Then I put it in our stash bag, which means that all the props I use, including the cards in the box, get put away, and we don't touch them for 3 days, because in general the CDC says 72 hours. So that's regardless of the activities that you're doing. And again, keeping your hands away from your nose, face, and mouth. I mean, that pretty much worked pretty well. So if you're doing multiple day programs, just have multiple decks with you as well. And that's kind of the basics of that. And the sequence we used was commonalities, which Lisa and I just did. We find a particular item, from the 8 image sides, keeping at least 6 feet away. We find that item, and then what we would do is just share some information about what we have in common, whether that be the image or something else. Then we paid. You ready, Lisa? Get ready for Find and Flee. So we would play the age-old game of Find and Flee, where we're trying to find the object as quickly as possible and call it out. And on the outdoors, we were like this, and Lisa would pick it out. We would bury the card, and then we finally played Ubuntu Champion, which is whoever can pick it first. For those of you who are familiar with various champion activities, pick it first. And then instead of giving her the card, I just bury the card, and then I would be Lisa's cheering champion.
Yep.
That's about it.
I agree, Rich. That worked so well. And we were a group of 8. I think that could have worked with a larger group.
Yes.
And not surprisingly, the more time pressure there was, I found the more difficult it was to maintain that 6 feet. So commonalities, no problem. We could maintain 6 feet, but Find and Flee, it was with lots of people moving at once. And I think folks who watch this video will discover that there's different activities that make it maybe a little bit more challenging to have that awareness. And so it was good to practice it in that order. That's it. So we hope folks continue to enjoy they're classics when they're able to gather and share your ideas with us. Thanks, Rich.
Bye.